Have you ever wondered why the woman who once couldn't get enough of you now seems distant? Why the passionate texts have turned into practical conversations about groceries and schedules? What causes a woman who was once completely captivated by you to slowly pull away, to lose that sparkle in her eyes when she looks at you? It's a painful reality that many men face, but few understand. The gradual shift from desire to duty, from passion to partnership. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a series of small moments, overlooked signals, and misunderstood needs that accumulate over time. And the most frustrating part? She probably won't tell you it's happening until it's too late. The truth is, it's not what most men think. It's not that she's found someone else. It's not that she's just not that sexual. And it's definitely not because women are incapable of maintaining desire. It comes down to something much more fundamental about how attraction works for women over time, something that dating experts rarely discuss honestly. Today, we're going to explore the real reasons why women lose attraction after the honeymoon phase ends and what you can do to prevent it before it's too late. If you're struggling to understand why your relationship has changed, or if you want to make sure your current or future relationship stays passionate for years to come, stay with me until the end. This might change everything you thought you knew about female desire, long-term attraction, and what really makes a woman stay emotionally and physically connected to you. Number 1, you stop being a challenge. Remember when you first met her? You had your own life. You were passionate about your goals. You didn't always text back immediately. You maintained healthy boundaries. This created a sense of excitement, of earned attention. She felt special when she got your time because your time had value. But what happened once the relationship became comfortable? For many men, they slowly abandon their own interests, their own friends, their own purpose beyond the relationship. They become completely available, completely predictable, completely safe. And here's the hard truth most relationship coaches won't tell you. While women want security in a relationship, they don't want to feel like they completely possess you. The moment a woman feels like you've lost your edge, like you've become entirely domesticated, something shifts in her unconscious mind. The man who was once an exciting addition to her life becomes just another responsibility to manage. This doesn't mean you should play games or create artificial distance, but it does mean that maintaining your own identity, your own pursuits, and yes, even a healthy dose of unpredictability isn't just good for you. It's essential for keeping her interest alive. Number 2, the mental load becomes unbearable. Here's something most men completely miss. In the majority of relationships, women carry what psychologists call the mental load. They're the ones remembering birthdays, planning meals, keeping track of household supplies, managing social calendars, and monitoring the relationship's health. In the beginning, she doesn't mind taking on these responsibilities. But over time, this invisible work takes a toll. She begins to feel less like your partner and more like your manager. Less like your lover and more like your mother. And nothing, I repeat, nothing kills attraction faster than feeling like your partner's parent. The mental load isn't just about physical chores. It's about the exhausting responsibility of being the relationship CEO. Constantly thinking ahead, planning, organizing, and maintaining not just your shared environment, but your shared life. When a woman feels like she's carrying this burden alone, resentment builds silently. Her energy for desire gets redirected to managing all these responsibilities. And the most dangerous part? She often won't tell you this is happening. She'll just slowly pull away, her desire diminishing with each mental task she adds to her overflowing plate. Number 3, emotional intimacy becomes one-sided. When relationships begin, there's often a beautiful balance of sharing, listening, supporting each other through challenges. You open up about your struggles at work. She shares her dreams for the future. This emotional exchange creates a powerful foundation for attraction, especially for women, who are often more aroused by emotional connection than by anything physical. But as time passes, many men begin to close off emotionally. They share less about their inner worlds. They listen less attentively to their partner's emotional lives. They become problem solvers rather than empathetic listeners. The man who once asked deep questions now responds with "that's nice" while scrolling through his phone. The man who once shared his fears now only discusses practical matters. The man who once made her feel truly seen now looks through her more often than at her. This shift is rarely intentional. Many men were raised to believe that emotional processing is something to be done privately, that vulnerability is a one-time admission ticket to a relationship rather than an ongoing practice. But for most women, this emotional disconnection feels like abandonment, even when you're physically present. Her attraction isn't separate from her emotional connection to you, it's built upon it. When the emotional intimacy fades, physical desire inevitably follows. Number 4. You've become comfort-driven instead of growth-driven. One of the most underappreciated aspects of female attraction is women's response to a man's relationship with challenge and growth. In the early days, she witnessed your drive, your willingness to tackle obstacles, your hunger to become better. This wasn't just impressive, it was deeply attractive on a primal level. But comfort is seductive. Once the relationship is established, many men shift from growth mode to maintenance mode. They stop pushing boundaries in their careers. They abandon fitness goals. They trade learning new skills for settling into routines. They choose Netflix over experiences that would challenge them. What these men don't realize is that a woman's attraction is often tied to how a man engages with the world, not just how he engages with her. When she sees you settling for comfortable mediocrity, something shifts in her perception. It's not that she wants a man who's never satisfied, but she needs a man who continues to evolve, who maintains his hunger for life. This isn't shallow. It's deeply biological. A man who continues to grow demonstrates his ability to adapt, to overcome, to provide security not just for today, but for an unpredictable future. When you choose comfort over growth consistently, you're unknowingly signaling that you've peaked, and her attraction responds accordingly. Number 5. Sexual initiation becomes formulaic and predictable. In the beginning, sexual tension was electric. There was unpredictability, creativity, a sense that desire could ignite at any moment. You took risks, you paid attention to her responses, you made her feel wanted in ways that surprised and delighted her. Fast forward 6 months, and for many couples, sex has become a weekend-only event that follows the exact same pattern every time. The initiation is predictable, maybe a certain touch or phrase that signals it's time. The sequence is identical. The ending is guaranteed. What was once an adventure of discovery has become a comfortable routine. And while routine isn't inherently bad, it's lethal to desire, especially female desire, which thrives on anticipation, imagination, and emotional connection. When sex becomes just another item on the relationship checklist, women often find their minds wandering, their bodies responding less enthusiastically. This doesn't mean you need elaborate scenarios or constant novelty, but it does mean that maintaining her attraction requires maintaining a sense of presence and intention in your intimate life. It means recognizing that desire isn't just about the physical act. It's about how you make her feel desired throughout your relationship, in ways that surprise and engage her imagination. Number 6, you've stopped courting her. Remember all the effort you put into winning her over? The thoughtful dates, the meaningful conversations, the small gestures that showed you were thinking about her. These weren't just tactics to get her into a relationship. They were expressions of value, demonstrations that you saw her as worth pursuing. One of the most common relationship mistakes men make is believing that courtship ends when commitment begins. They stop planning dates. They stop making romantic gestures. They stop engaging in the kind of thoughtful pursuit that made her feel special, desired, and valued. Instead, time together becomes dominated by practicalities and routines. Conversations center on logistics rather than dreams. Quality time is replaced by screen time. And while she understands that the intensity of early dating isn't sustainable, the complete disappearance of intentional romance feels like a bait and switch. When a woman feels like she's no longer worth your creative energy, your thoughtfulness, your intentional pursuit, she doesn't just miss those behaviors, she questions the foundation of your desire for her. The message you're unintentionally sending is that she was worth winning but not worth keeping, worth getting but not worth cherishing. And no matter how much practical stability you provide, this perceived devaluation will eventually erode her attraction to you. Number 7, your physical presence has diminished. I'm not talking about physical appearance, though self-care does matter. I'm talking about how physically present you are with her. In the beginning, your attention was fully focused when you were together. You maintained eye contact during conversations. You noticed details about her. Your phone stayed in your pocket. Over time, many men become physically present but mentally elsewhere. They half listen while watching TV. They respond to texts during dinner. They miss emotional cues because they're distracted by work concerns, sports scores, or social media. This split attention doesn't just feel disrespectful, it actively dampens a woman's attraction. Female desire is largely contextual and relational. When you're physically there but mentally absent, the quality of connection suffers and her body responds accordingly. She can't compartmentalize her arousal the way many men can. For her, the distracted conversations at dinner directly impact her interest in physical intimacy later. The challenging truth is that in our distraction-filled world, the ability to be fully present has become one of the most powerful attractants. The man who can put down his phone, turn away from screens, and give his complete attention has become surprisingly rare and surprisingly desirable. Number 8, she doesn't feel like a priority in your vision. When relationships begin, there's often a beautiful synergy of future visions. You share dreams, make plans, imagine how your individual goals might complement each other. She feels included in your vision for the future, and this creates a powerful sense of significance and security. But as time passes and daily life takes over, many men stop articulating how their partner fits into their larger purpose. The conversation shifts from our future to practical matters of the present. The sense that you're building something meaningful together fades into routine management of everyday life. For many women, this shift is profoundly disorienting. It's not that they need to be the center of your universe. In fact, most women are attracted to men with purpose beyond the relationship. But they do need to understand how they matter within that purpose. When a woman can no longer see her place in your vision, when she can't feel how her presence enhances your journey rather than restricts it, her emotional investment naturally begins to withdraw. This isn't about making grand promises. It's about continuing to share your evolving dreams and explicitly including her in them. It's about demonstrating through your choices, not just your words, that she remains a vital part of what you're building, not an obligation that's holding you back. So what can be done? Is a woman's declining attraction after the honeymoon phase inevitable? Is the shift from passion to partnership simply the natural course of relationships? Absolutely not. But preventing it requires awareness and intention. The first step is simply recognition. Most men don't realize these dynamics are happening until their partner has already built up months or years of resentment. By understanding these patterns, you can address them before the damage becomes too great to repair. Next, it's about reconnection with what actually sparked her attraction in the first place. This isn't about trying to recreate the beginning of your relationship. It's about recognizing the fundamental elements that created connection and ensuring they remain priorities no matter how long you've been together. This means maintaining your edge while being emotionally available. It means sharing the mental load while continuing to pursue growth. It means bringing thoughtfulness and presence back into your daily interactions, not just on special occasions. Perhaps most importantly, it requires honest communication. Many women silently endure the waning of these essential elements, hoping their partners will somehow figure it out without being told. And many men miss the subtle signs that something is changing until it's too late to easily fix. Breaking this pattern requires creating a relationship where both partners can speak honestly about their needs without fear of rejection or conflict. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: maintaining a woman's attraction isn't about tricks or techniques. It's about understanding that the same qualities that attracted her in the beginning, your confidence, your purpose, your attentiveness, your ability to make her feel both safe and excited, need to be consciously maintained throughout your relationship. The packaging might change as your relationship matures, but the essence should remain. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding these patterns is the first step to breaking them. In your relationship, be the man who chooses awareness over complacency, growth over comfort, and genuine connection over convenient routine. Until next time, invest in what matters most, the quality of your relationships and the legacy of your life.